Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Nick Smith here. Welcome back to another episode of Phenomenal Views. I just got done watching the weirdest episode of Gotham. This is my review for episode 20 of Gotham, called Under the Knife. And this episode is continuing the story of the killer who's kidnapping women and doing the whole Mr. Gray, but up to like up to 1,000. Wow. This episode had such a shocking ending. I didn't see it coming at all. So the episode starts with Bruce basically trying to talk to Selina about the other night, about why they didn't need to kill him, but Selina was like, he would have told on us. The people that were coming after you were coming after me. He's dead. No one's going to know about it, so just get over it. And one thing that they did in this episode, they established Bruce's line. They established his line, and it was really good that they did that. They started out with, in the beginning of the episode, about like how he disagrees with all that with murder and everything like that, but him and Selena are basically trying to figure out who the person is and how they have all this information. So there's a ball coming up, and they're going to sneak into the vault, and he's going to get the information from a safe. There's a charity ball coming up, so when him and Alfred are having a conversation, Bruce is like, "There's a charity ball. It's time they knew that the company is still owned by a Wayne." I was like, "Yeah, Bruce, kick them in the gonads." But so this episode was like, wow. They established more that the killer goes after the person that you love, and it does show that the killer is stalking Gordon because of Commissioner Loeb wanting to hurt Gordon for not going along and basically trying to put him away. So like he goes after Lee, and like they do this suspense thing, like where she's in the tub. They showed the trailer of this, and they did something I have seen in a review so many times, and I just hope that I'm doing this justice. She is walking around, and I'm like, it's the killer. It's either the killer or it's Gordon. You know what it is? Cat! Cat! They did a cat scare. And so she's like, "You're lucky I don't skin you." So then Gordon talks to her about all that's happened. He goes after the ones that the killer goes after all the people that his victims love. He's like, "I've got to protect you." She's like, "No. You want to protect me? Catch him. Go do your job. I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to do mine." And it makes her it makes her even more of an awesome character. Basically, it makes her... It makes her a very strong female character, and I like that. With Barbra, I don't know how many times I have to say this. Barbra, stop drinking! So like a lot of the times in this episode, Gordon and Harvey are basically they're not bickering, but they're trying to figure out what's going on, and his chief in police is basically telling Harvey to look over him because they know how he is and they know what could happen. And we do get some more things with Nygma. He's doing an autopsy on a watermelon. Gosh, Nygma's weird. But he sees Miss Kringle, and he notices that he sees Kringle and her ex-boyfriend making out. And he notices that she has bruises on her. This made Nygma really cool. I really like this. He was basically like, you need to get away from him, you need to stay away from him. She's like, "It's not any of your business," and I made him mad, I deserved it. And so Nygma decides to go and talk to the cop. And he's like, "Look, women need a firm hand, especially Kringle. She's got a mouth." And I was like, I don't like you. I know what's coming. And it was so amazing when it did. It was amazing when it happened. This episode has a lot of suspense. It has the suspense from what Riddler's going to do with Penguin with Penguin making more plans to kill Maroni. he even got like the best gun guy who around Gotham who knows Maroni and Falcone, and he's basically trying to get a group of people to come in and help him to take down Maroni, because a lot of people already know that he wants to kill Maroni. So when Penguin goes to his club, Butch tells him that Maroni's there with his mother, and I think Maroni knows that Penguin is trying to kill him. So he snaps on Penguin's mother, and he's like, do you know that your son do you know what your son does? Do you think that, are you going along with the game that he's just a bartender? That he's just a club owner? Or are you in on every single little thing he's done? He makes his mom pass out because, his mom creeps me out, but she's always been like, my Oswald's a good boy. He would never do anything like this. He is a good boy. He's a good, caring man. And Maroni basically shatters that for her. And he's like, you will pay for this. This is over. It's done. And it even goes to a point where she's like, Oswald, I'm your mother, but I'm not stupid. Are you just a club owner? She's like, I will love you for the rest of my life, but if you lie to me, you will hurt me. And he's like, Mom, I'm just a club owner. And I wrote in my notes, I think this is the one time where she's basically, like when a parent already knows that you're doing wrong, but they give you the chance to tell you the truth, and they don't. But I think that's what she was doing, and when he told her that, she was still crying. But I think a part of her believes it, but a part of her is saying inside, I know you're lying to me, and you've just hurt me. But this was really good development for Penguin. Penguin being more of the Penguin, he's going to strike and take Maroni, and he's going to start building up in the world. He's going to start being the crime boss that he is. And so we do get to the charity ball eventually. Bruce takes Selina, and I'm just gonna say, Selina looked nice. Bruce, and what's funny, when they're dancing, Bruce and Selina are dancing, and she's like, everyone's staring at us. Well, I am Bruce Wayne. I am. Shut up. And it's just funny because they were all looking at. They're like, he's gonna be such a playboy. You know he's gonna be such a playboy. Look at that. That's so cute. He's gonna defile women. That sounded wrong. But earlier on, the killer is walking in a bar, and he goes and he sits down. Actually, he goes and sits down with Barbra. And I was like, oh shoot. And Barbra and the killer go back to her apartment. And so, like, he's actually getting ready to kill her. I was like, okay, is she just another random victim, or is there something more to it? And she tells her, she's like, you don't know who I am and all this stuff. I'm this pretty such and such. If I were to drop off the face of the earth tomorrow, no one would care. So he doesn't kill her. They do some more digging with the killer, and they find out that when he was born, he was ugly. And so the mom pretended to love him, but she wouldn't give him his last name. So when he went to go ask for the last name, she laughed it off as a joke, humiliating him. He killed her, and then he took the last name, and the father was trying to cover it up. They were saying, they're being all like, look, your son has been seducing and killing women. And he shows a picture of what he looked like. He used to have like this deformity, and they go to this plastic surgeon because one of the women who died was a nurse for a plastic surgeon. And so they find out that the plastic surgeon redid some work on him, and he looks fine now. He looks the way he does. So when they find this out, they all of a sudden realize that, okay, we know who this guy is now. So then, before the ball, Selina and Barbra are, Barbara's already dressed up. Or no, she's not dressed up yet, but she talks about how she's going to be at the ball. And all of a sudden, someone comes to the door, and they give Selina all the stuff, and she's like, this is not going to be fun. And Barbara's just like, we got a lot of work to do. And then Bruce comes in, and Selina looks nice. So when they're at the ball, Bruce finally gets some one-on-one time with this guy. and they do the switch off thing where they get the keys. So we will see more about that in the next episode, which I cannot wait to see what they're going to do. So with all this and said, the Riddler, or Ed, follows Kringle home. And because he cares for Kringle so much, he wants to protect her. He basically says, he's like, I'm not going to let you hurt her again. He's like, what are you going to do about it? Yeah, that's what I thought. So then when he waits for the cop to come to Kringle's house, he punches the Riddler in the stomach. This was my favorite scene in this whole episode. He punches Nygma twice in the stomach, and then Nygma takes a knife and stabs him, and he's like, oh dear. But then he keeps doing it. And he goes from shock to, I'm enjoying this. And what made it better is they were under the train tracks, like in New York City, like you have like that humongous monorail, or the humongous train. They were under the bridge. And so like when Penguin is stabbing this guy, he's basically becoming the Riddler. He's transforming into the insane killer. I wrote in my notes the birth of the Riddler, because when he's stabbing him, after he's stabbing him, he's like, oh dear. And then he starts to smile, and then more light. The light looks like it's thundering and lightning, but it isn't. It's just the sound of the train and the sparks. But it was perfect. And I was like, yes, I can tell my friend Jessica Boy is going to be very happy. So when Bruce finally realizes there was a picture. Or actually, okay, earlier on in the episode, the killer called Gordon, and he was talking about something in his past, a picture that he took, and it took him a while to realize it, but then he realized he had a picture of Gordon, and Gordon wasn't alone, but he wasn't with Lee. He wasn't with Lee. He was with Barbra. So that's why the killer has been around Barbra. I thought he was honestly just going to kill Barbra, but it honestly looks like he's falling for Barbra because of how, like, he was talking about like how no one cared for him either, and when he was hitting her weak spots, she's like, I don't want to dance anymore, but then he gripped her and drug her back, and I was like, oh crap, he's got her. But then he was basically like, I let the real me out. Are you tired of hiding? Don't you want to let it go? And she's like, yes. So then this was, oh my gosh, this was, but, okay, so with, gosh, this episode gave me chill. This was, Penguin. When Penguin admits to his mother that he's just a club owner, flowers was sent to him by Maroney, and he's like, "Tell Maroney it's over. The guns are bought. I'm taking him down. The kill place is set. I'm ready." And then he closes the door, and then he opens it again, and he's like, "You know what? No, I'll tell him myself." He kills the flower guy. And I was like, it's on now. It's so on now. We've only got 2 episodes left, people. 2 episodes left. And so but back to the end. He takes Barbra to his apartment, but they don't show this until after Gordon goes back to her old apartment, to Barbara's place, and Selena's there. And he's like, They did get a funny one-on-one moment with Selena, though. Gordon was like, where's Barbra? He's like, she's not here. She left with some guy. Is this the guy? She's like, that's a poorly sketched picture. Is this the guy? Yeah, that's him. Why? Barbra's in the guy's apartment. She asks him, what's through there? He says, go on ahead and look for yourself. She opens the torture room. She just walks in with this. Actually, I liked the music with this. She just walks in there, looks at everything. He walks up behind her. I was like, crap. But when she looks at him, she gets this kind of smile on her face. It was really, really creepy and really, really weird. And that just made my jaw drop. I was like, wait, what? And it was, oh my gosh, this ending freaked me out. I am so excited to see what's going to happen, how they're going to do this. Are they going to, I know that they're going to eventually get Gordon and Barbra back together, but I'm wondering how they're going to do it. And guys, I strongly recommend you watch this episode. Put in the comments below what did you think about a lot of the things that unveiled in this episode, with the birth of the Riddler, the Penguin showing who he is even more around his mother and lying to her, and the fact that him and Maroni are going to go at it. I really want to know what you guys thought. Put in the comments below, hit that like button, tell me what you thought, and if you liked it, if you didn't like it, show it to your friends, show it to your enemies, show it to your grandparents, friends. I don't know, just show it. Guys, have a good night.